In 1992 grú chun den Clare críomhamánaíocht den na héireann den chéadúir in 8 bliain. Bhí riméid fud na tíre don orinóg a bhí lán le bacheléirí. Furin le díocas, scill, agus captain inspiráideach Anthony Daly.
I suppose it'd be our own Munster final in 1995 against Limerick when we made the long-awaited breakthrough and bridged the 63-year gap. And it was a great day for all the Clare people who were at that game, and it's very memorable for me.
Bain fear bhí a gceannas na chláiríní ná Dearlach Nan, fear a riile leis an lámh láidir.
Dearlach Nan wouldn't have won any popularity contests in Waterford. Certainly it was as intense and as close to hatred as you could possibly get between two counties.
At the time, I suppose we all felt that this was Ger making a stand for us, and he was backing us 100%, you know, and we were all in this together, and we were going to back him as well at that stage.
Saura Harveh conspóideach a ben 1998 na mánaíocht, agus Sáine sa lár bhí Dearlach Nan. In 1998 bhí an Clare a cuairtú a dríú críomh na mún in imeacht cheithre bliana, Rúmpa bhí Portláirge.
Bhí sa stíige seomra gléist an Chláir nóair a tháinig ar isteach agus seomraí bra mór an nóir le saoil. As bhí sa stíig I gcúine, an doras ar thaobh na láimh Clare agus an céad duine a tháinig isteach ná Ger agus an siúl uimhreach sin aige. Agus dúirt sé liom ná habair éonrad, féachara. Agus an chéad rad eile dúirt Ger liom ní féidir linn cailún.
Dearlach Nan obviously has a full-on approach both on the sideline. He's an intimidating figure on the sideline, and that's the way he trains his teams, to intimidate other teams. Gerald McCarthy is as tough a manager as I've ever come across. He knew what to expect, and there was no way Gerald was going to stand back from that. And I think he actually relished the challenge of meeting it head on. So absolutely, we felt that the way we were going to beat Clare was meet fire with fire. And I suppose somewhere along the way, sparks were going to fly.
Bhí Portláirge ulmhaithe a gur caibhlins, agus bhí gods imirthe crua agus physicúil, ní ráidar chun géile.
Bhí Portláirge réig I lá an lásan, agus ní raibh an Clare, ní raibh siad réig I gcóir a sort cogam mar sin.
There's no doubt about it on the drawing game that they shocked us with their intensity, and they were fairly ferocious in their play all over the field, and we definitely were caught on the back foot.
Behold, White is just to his right. It's 2 against 1. What a start! Cohen has a second goal, and Waterford on the best possible start to the second half.
Bhí sé ráití Portláirge mátá, Dearlach Nan chun dul amach, tá mise chun dul amach agus fiú bhí Rownori Markyle, Rownori.
Bhí siad ag dul timpeall beidir a Markyle na Rownori ar an taobh eile. Bhí sé granúr go leor le bheith fechantar, ach a fechan siar a bhí sé andar víre, mar bhí na fir sin réig chun dul le trídlin na chéile beidir más an rud a gur éirigh an tríd etartha.
Bhí imróí ag masla chéile mar is gnách, a chuaigh duine go imróí Portláirge thar fór, nuair a dúirt sé go mbeadh Anthony Daly ag bulla a bhean chéile.
I wouldn't have been too shy on the field either. If a fella said something to me, I wouldn't be long saying something back, but I think there's a line that you draw. I just think that day that just maybe the standard was lowered a small bit too much, and it sort of hurt us a bit that some of the stuff that what came out on the day.
Meanwhile, it's Tony Brown, hoping to keep the trend going where Waterford scores are concerned, and again a huge one, and it's dropped over the bar.
Darnú drochfeáil lecht na himmartha Tony Brown gargan zere, agus tugu bat agus bohor de Fiji O'Connell. Bhí na fórne curthum agus bhí seansaigh Paul Flynn ó boxéir an chur na Ruchtdal de Portláirge.
What chance has he of getting it? It's high, seems to be going to the right, and it's gone wide.
Well, we did feel it was a chance lost because, again, we don't get too many chances to be within a striking distance of winning a Munster final, you know, particularly when you're up against the All-Ireland champions.
Here again, whenever the replays.
Nuair a bhí sé ná den Nahimirt, bíad an Clare a bhí ré don Choraic.
We were all psyched up. I think we were just mad to get back to Thurles again, and not to go hitting anyone, but just to prove to ourselves that we were going to beat Waterford the following day and winning the game and winning the Munster Championship.
Sular Cahuan Schlitteristeach fiú Honnick and Rater Willie Barrett Trasna chun labhart leis na Rownori. A bark bhí an tanasig méadú an tám ar fad, níor chomhraí an mile seo leis an méid a bhí ar tí titim amach.
The rivalry between Clare and Waterford had already up to notch at that stage. I mean, our dressing room, both days, highly charged, and obviously Clare's was as well.
Ilár an action bhí ibre a hocht an chlár Colin Lynch a rinne taghfuil a gachrod in a cheanta ach an slitter.
An lá sin, bhí sé lethas a bheabhar beidir le jung bhailteacht. Agus chusa sé a lúsca chamána sin i lár parca bhí sé cosúil le duine ag iarraí clé a ghearra. Agus bhfuil sé gachaí le gaoine a bhí ann. Bhí sé réag beidir chun gachród a dhéanamh chun stop a chur le Tony Brown, mar bhí Brown tar éis immert anmás i chéitli.
I think the only one he hit, if you watch it again, is Ollie. I'm not too sure now, but the only one I could see him making definite contact was with Ollie. But he was just, I suppose he was wired, and he had probably had a poor game in the drawing game, and he was mad determined that it wasn't going to happen to him again. And yeah, I suppose he just let fly.
An ugly spectacle. I think nobody up in the stands or the terraces turned their head away though during the game. Probably not what you want to be bringing young kids to see, but for excitement, I think it was probably one of the more exciting games, particularly at the start.
Who could have foreseen the drama of the early minutes? Absolutely extraordinary, astonishing.
The melee started behind us then with Brian and Micheál White, and then fellas came running from every angle to get into that as well. But I think most fellas just went in to break up that, and the two lads got their marching orders. And if you're telling me anyone wants to get sent off, a fella like Brian Rowan getting sent off in a Munster final, that wouldn't be what his year would be about, you know.
There was fights breaking out off the ball, on the ball, all over the field. I know it's not what hurling is about, but it was so tense. Everyone was up for it so much.
James O'Connor, lovely little run. Great block by Brian Green, but it comes to Niall Gilligan. Will he take his point and go for a goal? Goal, Gilligan!
Grúan Clár go héasca agus chruch Anthony Daly cur on the moon, ach níra an chunspóid ach in the hoose.
We're all to blame for what happened at the start. With the crowd, the management of both teams, the players, we were all so hyped up. There was something was bound to happen, and it was just one of those wild things that happened. I know a huge deal will be made out, but after slow motion television, there was nobody injured. There was a bit of wild swinging. After that, the game settled down.
Of course, afterwards we got all the bad press, really, you know.
Bhí na meán har a bheith cáinteach do bhar na heachtraí, agus bhí muintear Fort Large bulle.
Dámach gunlan seachas gá fillir I dtíine chuir an dá fillir sta dearlach ná, déna cinnte go se cáil. Bhíon ráin dámanta, agus bhí ar fannim líanta.
Ní bháin an fphobal fi dtíine I gúnú clescéil fi agus mar sin de, ag rá gur ceart rud ag an dhéanamh.
Chusig sort witch hunt ag an óm, agus bhí muintear an chlár cinnte go raibh ifigig I gcóir na mún a bhí ag iarraí a níthe le dhéanamh chun iad a chur síos.
Ní lá tar éis an cliffe chur curlin na moon cúis ar Colin Lynch as ach de bheith ag siar wulla leis an gumán.
To be fair, Colin Lynch is not a dirty hurler. He wasn't a dirty hurler before that, and he wasn't a dirty hurler since that. He's a good, honest, hard hurler, but I think the blame for that incident lies beyond Colin Lynch. He was wound up and he snapped the minute that ball was thrown in. He was it was like a coil, and it snapped.
Colin is a guy that was giving us everything and had become a real leader in the setup, and just that they were doing him, like, you know, and he was being picked out of the whole thing, and it could have been any of us.
Tharla achtra eile idir Lynch agus Tony Brown nach wacha an réitor ná Camry telefíse, agus tar éis cóirla ón Muirlíne tógu anamnach an na birte dwar immer scharab. Bhí an méid strífta ag an réitor in the Hurascáil agus go hundúil sinna dhéire, a chocra cóirla na mún pianos a chuir ar Colin Lynch.
Is there any way that Colin Lynch can get off on Friday night?
If the natural rule of justice prevails, that a man is innocent until proven guilty, if that prevails, which is one of the basic rights of every human, every person on this island, and one of the rights that people have fought and died for, if that prevails, then Colin Lynch will be playing for Clare on Sunday.
Is dálan gur in nolchas a chuig an scéal de bhard na hagel if sin go léir a chuist.
I am not mentioned in the referee's report, yet action has been taken against me. Now, who are these people that have taken these actions? Is there somebody following a different agenda? That is the question that has to be answered.
Chála Riven Cliffe le cheannis chua lachnan chuigen Limerick áitar ó cóirla na mún ag play cás Colin Lynch. Ach bhí iarachtaí dénta ag an glár an cruinne sin I cheansú, onas go bhéadach Lynch immert.
So let's go there live and join
Lynch Immerts.
So let's go there live and join Marty Morrissey. Marty, what's happening?
I can reveal exclusively that Clare went to the High Court today seeking a postponement of tonight's meeting so that Colin Lynch, the Clare midfielder, could face his accusers. But that effort failed in the High Court.
We should give a cost Col na Moon on Crinu Veco, agus an scale a Inuka. Now, that vanadish could be go Raven Crinu Hart, agus an Chindaridish go Dian Court at Lord Interlocutory Junction. Tá Gaki and Dalaver and scale come Yokan Book on Chin.
And last Monday, Colin's grandmother, whose pride and joy Colin was, sadly got a stroke. And unfortunately, just a few hours ago, she was taken off a life support machine. So you will understand that Colin cannot be here under those circumstances. So whatever happens from here tonight, I think, pales into insignificance as to what has happened to him and to all his family over the last 2 weeks.
Talk about preparation for an All-Ireland semi-final, it was crazy stuff, like, you know, and I just remember being up watching the late news and, you know, the pictures came from the Limerick Inn, I think it was on, and I remember seeing some of the supporters, and I knew them, some of them, you know, they were from Clarecastle, and, you know, then I remember Marty coming out with the thing about Colin's grandmother having passed on. And
the death of Mary Ann Clohessy, Colin Lynch's grandmother, has made this a very sad evening indeed. But whether or not her grandson will play in Croke Park in the All-Ireland semi-final against Offaly is still undecided.
Mara Harlasha, vi Shanwahar Colin Lynch fós bio. Chredslach nangur a chuligram a gunja an Clare, agus a nichi sin curu terma fenriach de 3V Lynch.
Gara terma 3V agus chur sé sin ófás ag ar fadar bhainter an chláir agus hí ar ransan go raibh an tír go léir in na naig, go raibh páirce crócaigh in na naig agus códla na mún agus hí an saol achar, hí an saol amána achar ag an bhainte sé.
One of the first comments I made on Clare in that interview was that she was going to get 3 months. What happened tonight? We got 3 months. No representation allowed from Clare. You can draw your own conclusions about that, you know, and people all over the country can just ask themselves one question. The one question I'm asking myself coming out here tonight is, do I want my young fella to be a member of an organisation like this?
Mon dawnach an íg sin vís mai lachlí agus bhí maithric tacht agus fiocas súsa nuair tháinig se go stáisiún Houston. Agus ní dúirt sé puin riomhrumsa hí aon rud a rinneamar I go mú clascair madar le fionraí ach dúirt sé lom tá sibh tar éis blagardig dhéanamh Colin Lynch.
We did feel ourselves, and we did have a bit of maybe of a siege mentality that, you know, everyone liked us coming on the scene in '95, that we were a new team coming to the top table, and then won Munster and won the All-Ireland again in '97, and we did have the feeling ourselves that, you know, a lot of the established counties maybe wanted us to go away again and go back to the old traditional music and stuff, you know. So I remember Mike Mack, you know, saying to us in training, I think maybe the Tuesday or Wednesday night, that look, no matter what anyone else thought of us in the country, that there was a clear flag flying out in nearly every window in the county, and that's what we had to worry about, and that was what our job was, to go on and finish the job.
In anno in the Gunspodzi, vi cliffel and nimmert ag an Clare, and I furin a fibre dog its heinaku, Ivali. Bei Babs Keating banished your nua Ivali, the needs egne gehocht. Fer a cherachri vele eiren grúte ege le Tibradaran, mar imror agus mar wanistor.
Vi mis an gwiste a ronig Babs mar vanistor Ivali ag der in a blian a rivisin. Vi mar a kappa go raibh gá le duine egen cosú leis. Duine láidir. Duine bheith to dul isteach sa seomra festus agus go mbeadh meas ag na himráí air.
The only thing about a county like Offaly and a county like Laois that I was with, these things won't happen in Tipperary or Kilkenny or Kerry or Cork. And that's the kind of tradition that I was brought up in Tipperary, and it is the kind of tradition that fails a county like Offaly sometimes. And you know, if I have anything to add, like just that area of discipline, and that is discipline that I'm talking about, goes a long, long way.
Níor aire goróháile híomháilí ag glyfa ceannis lein níd ag na chahocht ag gonne Chilchonne. Bhí na cuit I wadró láidir dóib dá bhuachas coppla cool ó DJ Carey.
And again he goes for the goal. And again is it in? The umpire signals. But DJ Carey can only be described as a genius.
Bí it Kilchonne Curríthe Line agus ní ró hásta a bhí Babs Keating leis méid a bhí feici aige forc an ád. Tar éis an cluife agus é caint leis na meán, dúirt Babs gur a imróí í bhailí nós sheep running around in a heap. Thug credinnig in the himróí is mór a meas sa chundé Johnny Pilkington labhairt amach.
The interview at that time, it disappointed me, you know, in that he seemed to just be, you know, obviously the players had to take some blame, you know, but he seemed to be pushing it onto us. It was all about they missed wides and they done this, and you know, and there was no such thing as we.
Níor raibh mór an mí cheart leis an rud a dúirt sé, ag an am a dúirt sé, mar níor raibh an cuma ar na himráirí an lá chéan a go raibh siad anna agrathe mar irin. Bhí frustrachas ar a lán daoine, agus nuair a bhíon frustrachas agus fearragar gaoine, labhraíonn siad rudaí beidir nach bhfuil siad daríar a fóth ag an am.
Liam Horn rang me on the Independent the next day, and like any good journalist, it digs a bit deeper, and you'll find out more about what went on in training and this, that, and the other. And I met a few of the lads later on that evening. There was a bit of worry and a bit of, you know, there is something seriously wrong now, you know. And then I kind of had to break the news, and Jesus, Liam Horn rang me, and you're not going to like the next day's paper, you know.
Bhí Johnny Pilkington ag labhairt ar son na himráirí, agus Babs ar an taobh eile, agus taobhistigh de cúpla lá bhí Babs imethe. Tháinig an Christa Chundasteach ar thaobh na nimráirí, agus nuair a rinne siad é sin, ní raibh an dara roa ag Babs ach imach leis.
Babs may have did it for the right intentions. He may not have meant to injure anybody or hurt anybody, but certainly as an Offaly man, I don't like anybody giving out about our players. I have to say that the marriage was over, that I could not be saved.
While that report was on air, we've got news exclusively to Sideline View of who's taking over as Offaly senior manager. Michael Bond, who played minor, under-21 and senior hurling with Galway in the late 60s and early 70s, will take over. He trained at underage level.
Ní ra ana ag imróí í bhailí Michael Bond, ordwashter ó chunda na Gaillimhe.
He could have been there with the physio for all we knew. You know, there was a man just tugged out in the corner. He was tugging out and whispering, "Who's this lad? Who's that lad?" It was really unusual. You know, I suppose most new managers who were coming in would like to have a formal present there meeting and talk about what way we're going. He just came, "Listen, I'm Michael Bond, and I like Offaly hurling. I love the way you hurl, and let's go and do some of it."
Bhí Dearlach Nan féchant ar an gluife le cheannis ón seastán I dteannta Colin Lynch agus Brian Lohan. Ní rá an chlár Olive, ach bhí í bhailí fásaithe agus contúirteach.
The Offaly lads, of course, had all the fallout with Babs, and they came, and I knew after 10 minutes we were in trouble. I said, these boys here are wired, and you could sense the likes of Wheelahan and the Pilkingtons and the Dooleys were really up for this one. And
Johnny Dooley free produced something special.
That's gone in. Where will it end up? It's a goal! Once again, Johnny Pilkington has scored against Clare in a major match.
Pilkington was on hand again minutes later. This time he meandered his way through the defence to give the Midlanders a 1-point lead. Then the pressure fell to Jamesy O'Connor to keep Clare's All-Ireland dream alive. He did. The replay is fixed for Saturday, August 22nd.
Sa nathimirt bíad an chlár bhí go mór an uachtar, iad debuintach an cín ag stáitiúán sa dar le. Ach an sin, thos a tíochta níor cháúil í bhailí.
If Offaly can apply good pressure. Wheelahan again up there in the forward. Here's a goal chance, John Troy. Out they come. And the shot has gone in. It's buried. And Billy Dooley has got it.
Bhí an chlár trí faointach an cín agus bhí an támas leanú. Ach an sin, le túramas cháú med imirtha agus tríú med de ghortaithe fácaí, héad an réitor Jimmy Cooney an Edo Giere.
And the referee has blown up.
Well done, Delo, and best of luck in the final, and swapped jerseys. And then I noticed there was a bit of schmozzle. I never thought there was anything to do with the time. Like, you know, that had never happened in a game I was involved in before. So
Clare have won it by 3 points. But on my watch here, there are another 2 minutes to go.
I just remember Brian Whelan running up to me and he said, no, the time isn't up, Delo, there's 2 minutes left, he's playing on. I said, Brian, I have an Offaly jersey on me now, you know.
Michael Bond's coming across as well to speak with the referee.
That if the referee was after making a mistake, there's enough wrong being done to us this year that we were now in the All-Ireland anyway, and the ref's decision.
Well, to speak with the referee.
That if the referee was after making a mistake, there's enough wrong being done to us this year that we were now in the All-Ireland anyway, and the ref's decision was final. It's what we're always told in sport, I guess, you know.
One na Lochslán dala cúnig an fáic agus bhí an clufa hart.
Beidir go raibh numar go muir agus gachra timppla hémas a cún. Agus ná tugad seans dá machna bhíana mar bhí sé le feiscin go sa léir. Go raibh duine dus na muir líne. A dolisteach agus go raibh sé rála agus gur hiig Jimmy Cooney. Fada bhí sé ar a báir nach raibh deire leis. Ach, de sciúbog den báirce, na muir dhéana sin.
Fuair muid amach in íor sin, bhí Jimmy Cooney geargal amach agus túsa chur in ahor leis a glyfa. Ach, ní thugad ar siú deisco agus bhí an beidir go méidir fiú smaoine bhar, bhí an légar curtha ag nach lantha íhálaí ar a barc, so ní rosá go le tarlú.
So I remember getting into the dressing room, and I was one of the last in. I think some reporter caught me on the way in, and there was an eerie sort of a feeling in there, like that. You know, we were in the All-Ireland final, we should have been jumping around for joy, but if people were just sitting around, sort of, what's after happening here, and
like we feel like, you know, as if we've been sort of robbed again, you know, and it's just fierce disappointing, you know.
The time I realised that there was a problem, actually, I had togged out and showered and I went upstairs. So I was looking out the window at all these Offaly people going on, you know. One or two more lads came up and said, geez, that match was short-lived and short time, and then you looked out and the people were out in it, you know. And it had been a tradition of Offaly. I think the statement was, you know, you'd never Offaly bet until the Sunday game was over. And that was when just the Sunday game was on Sunday evening, you know.
I remember having a pint with Johnny Pilkington, and Michael Bond came over and said, you know, don't drink too many of those, Johnny, because there's going to be a replay next week. And we were beating fair and square now, Michael, he says, you know. And we were looking out the window, all the Offaly supporters were sitting on the field, and Johnny being Johnny, like, I think he was having a fag, and he was saying, would you think they'd go away for now a drink?
Bhí go leor cantal a meas gleantóirí, agus dúrú le Jimmy Cooney fannacht gomach gachtainna imithe.
We spent hours in that dressing room. Lonesome hours. Oh Lord, lonesome hours. I thought the night would never end. We eventually got out of Croke Park at about 10 to 10 that night. Security held us there, I suppose, for a lot at the time because they were obviously worried about our safety. There would have been a number of very agitated people waiting for this Galway referee to come out of the dressing room. And
Tógu an cinne gomach ahemmert ar an glyfa an saharan dá gceann in Orla Saile.
We were really, you know, confident going down there. The fact that it was a draw again and cut short, I think that hurt Clare more than, obviously it hurt Clare more than it did us going into that third game. So psychologically, we were that step ahead.
Offaly started the second half brilliantly. Joe Dooley again adding to their lead. And then this point by his brother Johnny opened the gap to 5 points. And so Clare exit the championship, and it is Offaly who march on to meet Kilkenny in the final in a fortnight's time.
It was the first time I think after a game, like I've often cried straight after a game, but crying getting onto the bus, like fighting back tears in case people would see you, like, because
Chas í bhailí Kilchonne ag glyfa canis na héireann. Bhíad an oireann a fór réile na Manisteoir a grú corran bhí Carthy.
Dignan tearing through the heart of the Kilkenny defence on his left-hand side, and he puts it over the bar. The arms in triumph. Surely now it's Offaly. It's a glorious moment for Offaly, for their captain Hubert Rigney. The Liam McCarthy Cup is won by Offaly.
And Clare were probably, I won't say done out of an All-Ireland, but they were certainly unfortunate they didn't win an All-Ireland that year. But I think most people have moved on. I think Ger probably took him a long time to recover from it.
Big Michigoni ará imagan na féin. Dá mar rud go nana mar rudaí difriúla I cóir na mún an mbeoch an Clare tar éis an trío ceann a bhócant.
I mean, I'd never had any pity for Clare after the beatings in '95, so I mean, that's where that went out the window. No, I mean, I suppose everybody gets their day in the sun. And Clare did come back, you know, a while later, and that. Whether they were the best team in the land at that time, obviously, you know, we'd be saying no, they weren't.